and Black Dragon Ridge. There are no official statistics kept by the local government, but according to reports, there are approximately 100 deaths attributed to falls each year. Number 9. The world-famous Running of the Bulls is an event held during the 8-day festival of San Fermines in Pamplona, Spain. Simply put, a group of bulls are let loose on a course of sectioned-off streets in the city. A rocket is set off at 8 a.m. to let the runners know the corral gate is open, and a second rocket is then set off to let them know the bulls are loose and proceeding towards them in an orderly manner. Actually, chaos ensues as tourists on their bucket list adventures and locals trying to prove either how brave, crazy, or stupid they are run from the charging bulls. The runners attempt to last as long as they can without jumping or running for cover. Apparently, a good runner lasts only about 20 seconds. Every year, 50 to 100 people are injured. Mostly minor injuries, but some do require an ambulance ride to the hospital. There's always the risk of serious injury like goring, which can lead to death. However, as dangerous as this all is, since record keeping began in 1910, only 15 deaths have occurred during the runs. Shocking, huh? Number 8. Extending out of a mountain 2,300 feet above the north side of this lake in Norway is a piece of rock called Trolltunga, or Trolltung. If you want to visit Trolltunga, prepare to spend about 8 to 12 hours total on a round-trip hike, even if you're an excellent hiker in great condition. Thousands of tourists attempt to visit to Trolltunga every summer. Don't expect to find safety railings because, we don't want to take away from the natural beauty of the cliff. But if you want to lower yourself down to the rock, there are metal hooks installed as footholds, and you can find many photos on the net of people hanging off the rock, or balancing themselves in very precarious positions on the edge of the rock. But some of the craziest are optical illusions or have been photoshopped. About 40 tourists need rescuing each year, and even though there's only one recorded death that occurred in 2015, professionals are adamant that the rock is just an accident waiting to happen. Number 7. Jacob's Well. Texas' most dangerous diving spot is the largest underwater cave in the state. Located northwest of Wimberley, Texas, the spring is a popular tourist draw despite being named one of the most dangerous places to dive on Earth and 8 lives being lost there over the years. Cave divers from the Jacob's Well Exploration Project have explored and mapped the system's conduits. The well's 12-foot diameter mouth is a popular swimming spot. The more daring divers then descend into the cave for about 30 feet and then angle down into one of the largest underwater caves in the state, reaching depths of over 120 feet. Authorities' attempts at dissuading divers from entering the system have not been successful. Number 6. The Danakil Desert is located in northeast Ethiopia and is considered one of the cruelest places on Earth due to extreme heat, burning salt flats, dust storms, and suffocating days with no wind at all. Stretching over 100,000 square kilometers, it is barren of fauna and flora, consisting primarily of desert flatlands and isolated mountain groups. One area of the desert known as the Danakil Depression is along an area called the Great Rift, where the Earth's crust has sunk over time to 371 feet below sea level. This area is considered to be one of the lowest points on Earth, as well as the hottest place on Earth in terms of year-round average temperatures. The desert's daytime temperatures surpass 122 degrees Fahrenheit, with less than an inch of rainfall occurring each year. To add to the danger of such a miserable place, the area is also home to many active volcanoes. We're halfway through a list of the most dangerous tourist destinations in the world, and it's time for a poll. Where would you like to go on your vacation? To the mountains, to the beaches, to the cities, or maybe an amusement park? Click here to vote. Number 5. New Smyrna Beach in Florida is popular for its budget-friendly shores, in spite of being recognized as the shark bite capital of the world. The beach has had over 250 attacks in its recorded history, giving it the great distinction of having the highest number of attacks per square mile in the world. Young bull sharks populate the area and are most likely responsible for a lot of the attacks. I guess one comforting thought, if you choose to swim here, is that most attacks did not result in death. Number 4. Death Valley is located in Eastern California and is one of the hottest places in the world, holding the world record for highest recorded temperature of 134 degrees in July of 1910. The summers are long and extremely hot, and the winters don't provide much relief either. They are usually mild and consist of very little rainfall. But despite all that, it's still a hot spot, yes pun intended, for travelers who are drawn in by its unusual biodiversity. Many tourists are drawn in by the wildflowers that blanket the desert floor each spring. While visiting the valley and its over 600 springs and ponds, you may experience bighorn sheep, red-tailed hawks, or wild burros. One of the most popular destinations for tourists is a 100-foot waterfall called Darwin Falls. The large pond that the waterfall empties into is home to willows, cottonwood trees, and over 80 species of birds. But don't let all that beauty fool you. It was named Death Valley for a reason. In 2014, the body of British actor Dave Legano, who played Fenrir Greyback the werewolf in 3 of the Harry Potter films, was found by hikers in Death Valley. The actor apparently succumbed to the heat. Number 3. Next on our list is Madidi National Park, and it's considered to be one of the most biologically diverse places on Earth. Located in northwest Bolivia, it is also considered to be very dangerous due to the abundance of venomous and poisonous floral and fauna. National Geographic photographer and writer Joel Sartore, in a Medidi diary he wrote for the magazine, described nights filled with animal screams, bats urinating on his face, botfly infestations, and one horrible event where he ran out of toilet paper and used leaves from a plant that apparently had painful toxins on them. In spite of Medidi National Park being so dangerous, it's still a popular destination for ecotourists. Number 2. Elephant Kingdom is a tourist attraction in Thailand, who made quite a stir in 2016 when a video went viral showing a group of Chinese tourists, including children, feeding crocodiles. Now, feeding the crocodiles isn't that all controversial, but when you do it from a makeshift raft consisting of a rusty cage floating atop plastic barrels, it kind of creates that new spin you try to avoid. In the video, you see the tourists dangling meat from sticks, and before you know it, they're surrounded by dozens of hungry reptiles. The owner of the park assured officials that shut his operation down for 90 days that it was completely safe, as they only put 15 people in a cage at a time. He even offered a hefty reward if someone could prove that his rafts were unsafe. Number 1. El Caminito del Rey translates to the King's Little Pathway. You'll find this walkway lining the walls of a very steep and narrow gorge in El Chorro. Constructed of concrete resting on steel rails that were supported by stanchions, this walkway provided a path for workers at Chorro and Gatinejo Falls to transport materials and to maintain and inspect the facilities. The walkway is a harrowing 3 feet wide and hangs precariously to the sides of the gorge walls, well over 300 feet above the river below. After years of neglect, the walkway became so dangerous it needed to be closed. But that didn't stop people from attempting to make the hike. It was once referred to as the world's most dangerous walkway because of 5 deaths due to accidents in 1999 and 2000. The walkway was closed for over a decade, but after an extensive repair and renovation project, it was